So hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you guys how to brew with your aged coffee. Usually, because of the humidity, it's gonna act differently than a fresh coffee. And because of the moisture added, in a nutshell, you just need to add 10% of more coffee than you are usually using to substitute for the moisture added. And for example, if I'm using 20 grams if I'm using 60 grams per liter, I will use 66 grams per liter instead. So I will add 10% more of coffee, and that's in a nutshell how what's gonna happen. Everything, the brew way, how you brew it, it's gonna be the same. In a pour over, because the water is passing really fast, what will I do is instead of adding twice the amount of water for the coffee weight for the blooming phase, I will add 4 times, so it will be like 80 grams for me when I'm brewing with 22 grams. And in the end of the video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go as fine as an espresso fine and brew it with a filter paper to show you how fast the water and how fast it brews. And I will use my Hario because it's clear and it's gonna show you how fast the water is going through. And I did this experiment and did this video like 3 times now, and I'm redoing it now anyway. So let's start. So the coffee I'm using is a Guatemalan, and it was roasted on the 2nd of October last year, and now it's now 5 months of aging. You always need, when you're aging your coffee, you always need to make sure that the Bovida bags, like the moisture bag or the humidity bags, don't go dry. You could see how flexible this one is. And I have this one which is it's drying out, so making sure these don't go dry, because if they go dry it will start to go stale. So after they dry out, you could recharge them, and you could just put them in a bowl or something. I put them in this sealed bag with some water, and they will recharge over a couple of days. So you have here I think 10 Bovedas, and I just put a lot of water inside, and I put them in a bag so I could just forget about them and not check on them every day. It's just for me, but you could use anything that you could submerge them in water. You just need to use filtered or water without not heavy water or hard water, you could say. So I'm going to measure. For now, I'm starting with how to brew with the filtered version, not with the espresso, I mean. So at the end of the video, you will see I'm going to go as fine as my grinder goes. I have the Wilfer grinder, a Wilfer uniform grinder, which goes to espresso fine, and I will show you how fast the water actually go through the coffee. So let's start anyway. So usually, fresh coffee, you will use 20 grams, but because of the moisture added, you will use 10% more of the coffee that more coffee than you are usually using. So if you are using 15 grams of coffee, you use 1.5 more grams. And you could under extract the coffee, so you could go fine, not fine. You could add more coffee, and you will get the acidity back. And the coffee here is a bit acidic anyway. It's not the acidity here. It's more palatable, and even if you under extract it, I still find the acidity more palatable, not that harsh. And that's why I like aging coffee, because it make it more smoother and more. It give it finesse. I'm not sure how what's the word to use here. Anyway, let's start grinding anyway. So another reason humidity, storing your coffee with humidity, other than aging, it eliminates the static problem, so you don't have any static anymore, and that is really good reason anyway. Let me pre-wet the filter just. So I'm using 90 degrees hot coffee, to Celsius, and I'm pre-wetting the filter just to get rid of the paper taste. The Wolfa uniform grinder is the flat burr, so it gives like more uniform grind anyway than a conical grinder. I have the rock grinder also, but I find it for usually for like aged coffee or coffee that's stored with the humidity is more malleable, and a conical grinder have like it produce larger particles than a flat burr, to be honest, but it should work fine anyway. So let's start. So I will be blooming for 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and I will add 4 times the coffee that I added of water. So let's start. Because the water is passing really fast, I add more water, but so I'll let it sit for at least 35 seconds or 40 seconds, and then we'll continue the brewing process. You could see how fast the water went through, like comparing to like when you brew something really fresh, which have a lot of gases inside. So let's start brewing. So I'm aiming for 333 milliliter. To be honest, I'm surprised it's blooming this much. Like I would expect it to be clear, like after this much of aging, but surprisingly, you could see some blooming happening, like the foam on the coffee. And the water is passing really fast, so like we are now on the 1 minute mark, and what I really like about aging the coffee is it's much smoother and like more enjoyable. You don't lose any of the origin flavor, and if you're missing the like acidity, you could just under extract it, and you don't run the risk of over extracting it when you use 22 grams. So I'm trying to knock down any big particles so they could sink down. So if I didn't bloom it in the beginning, I saw the coffee like go as fast as like the brew time as fast as 50 seconds and to 1 minute and a half or so. But like when you bloom it, you give it like somehow it changes something that doesn't allow the water to pass that fast, so it takes from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, which is the normal brewing time, and you end up extracting most of the flavor out of it. And even like if you extract it, as I will show you when I do it as an espresso fine for the grind, you will see like the coffee even after like it will be as espresso grind, it will not over extract and it will still taste really smooth, but it will not have the origin flavor because it was extracting really fast and didn't extract everything. So the brew is nearly done now, and we are on the 3 minutes mark. So that's in a nutshell how like an aged coffee will brew, and it's brewing really good. So I'm going to use the same coffee, so so everything is the same. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to bloom this coffee. So if you could see, let's, so I could show you. So the setting is now on 16. I'll go as fine as this gets, which is 1. And this is usually the espresso fine. And I think you could see in James' video when he tested this, he did pull some shots on it. To be honest, I haven't tried pulling shots with the aged coffee because like I don't own any espresso machines or anything like that. Anyway, let's start the experiment. I will brew with the same amount, 22 grams for 333 milliliters. Let me adjust the camera now. Sorry. So let's start. So we are back now. So it finished grinding just now, and let me show you how fine it is. So it's pretty fine now, and even like with espresso wine, it's like the aroma is still amazing. I have one of my favorite coffees from Ethiopia, from the Rocky Mountains, and it's natural, so it have that strawberry smell, which is super amazing. I get it from Foundry Coffee Roaster, and I think you could order it all over the UK. Try that coffee; it's their best anyway. And that was the coffee that I started aging with anyway. So let's start pre-wetting the filter now. I'm not going to let this coffee bloom just to show, like, because if I let it bloom, it's not gonna do anything anyway, because I'm not like making it to drink anyway. So it's more of a proof of concept rather than it's something I would be doing when I brew. So it's really smooth, like that's what I really like about like aging coffee. And anyway, I don't want to bore you, so let's just check that everything on screen, and let's start. So it's 22 grams, so 333 ml. So let's start. The reason I bloom usually when I do this kind of thing is just to slow the brewing time. Somehow it do something to the grounds that make them like much slower in the brewing. So it's nearly done now, and wow, like this is espresso grind. When I do it usually with filtered grind, it will take like literally 30 to 50 seconds, and now it's taking 2 minutes with espresso fine. I will be interested in like in how it's going to taste. Let me get a paper cup because I ran out of mugs. So it's now 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's impressive, to be honest. Like I would imagine that's taking much longer. I don't have any fresh coffee because like I've been aging. Like in November, after I finished the experiment and I saw the results, I bought like kilos of coffee to age because I'm enjoying them more and more. So I may buy a fresh batch and like try it and see how it's gonna differ to see the differences. Anyway, let me throw out this one and I mean the ground coffee and see how this coffee gonna taste. I'll come back in a second. So both coffees are still hot anyway, but like this is got a bit colder now. It's still lukewarm, you could say. Like the original flavors, you could still taste them. As it cools down, it's much clearer to taste, and it's really smooth. And if I just wanted to get some acidity back or some kick more of acidity, if I like acidity that much, I just under extract it. And some of the coffees, like you need that acidity, especially the lighter roast ones. So I usually under extract those. It's just depending on how you do, but the general rule is like 10% more coffee to what you are brewing in general. This is the espresso fine grind, and it's really smooth. It still have some the flavors. It's the only thing. It's not bitter at all. Like I'm surprised, to be honest. You could feel the bitterness on the back of your tongue. The sourness is usually on the sides, and it's like you could really feel them if you just focus for a second. I'm surprised, to be honest. Like I would expect an espresso grind with a filter coffee for 2.5 minutes. Like that's really fast in the first bit, but it's not bitter at all. Yeah, it's gonna get over extracted if you like over extracted anyway. But yeah, that's just a proof of concept. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions or any more ideas, I'm happy to listen, and here you are. I want to test that TDS, the total dissolved particles inside the coffees, but that is an expense I cannot afford right now. I will try to improve like my video quality, and also like to buy more equipment to test the moisture in the coffee with the fancy moisture coffee machine. I may collab with a coffee roaster who already have this kind of equipment, because that's gonna be cheaper for me anyway, even if I rent them out of them or something, because I cannot afford them. Anyway, if there's anything, I've put my email also, and you could comment in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to reply to you guys. Anyway, have a nice day and enjoy.